Hey. Wagwan, what y'all deal with?
I'm still waiting. While the folks still hating. It's a new generation.
Yo, when I seen that the Cult of Natureboy had came out, I was like, man, of all the little, passing by videos and stuff that I didn't seen, bruh is crazy. I already know that, okay? I can tell you this, definitely when I saw it, I was like, hell to the no. This is definitely a jaw dropper right here. But if you have only ever seen the Cult of Natureboy and, maybe some videos online, maybe some stuff that they posted when they had it on the news, you have definitely not seen the stuff that you need to see to be able to understand why this man is where he is right now. And I'm going to tell you, it gets so deep. But what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to compile some things from a couple of other YouTubers and different personalities who have really took some time to put some work in on this, because they really spent hours and hours and hours. Everybody ain't got that kind of time, so I'm going to try to put some of that stuff together so you can really understand the basic part that you don't know. You don't know about Natureboy and his cult. You gonna see. If you saw the Cult of Natureboy Hulu documentary, you may have seen more than you ever knew about a man named Eligio Bishop, nicknamed Natureboy, who began an entire cult and changed people's lives forever. But there is still so much that was not put in the documentary, and so much that you don't know. Check this out. Natureboy was born as Eligio Prada in Harlem, New York, April 29th, 1980.
That's my mom, and that's my dad, yeah. And that's me as a baby.
He was raised in abusive foster homes with only one of his siblings, his brother Leo, where he was physically and even sexually abused multiple times. Eventually, they were adopted by the Bishops, who pretty much had that bag, if you get what I'm saying. They really put a lot of attention into making sure that the brothers were medically looked over. Many young black boys are stereotyped as troubled youth because of their heightened energy, and Eligio and his brother were put on Ritalin for ADHD, as a lot of them are. But just like many young black boys, Eligio was drawn to the life of the streets and ended up in and out of juvie. He ended up doing 5 years in the Jamesburg Juvenile Detention Center. But because of his behavior and many suicide attempts inside of prison, he was eventually transferred to a mental institution. Natureboy went to the military, as many young men did after high school, in an attempt to find structure and camaraderie. But it was short-lived, because once they discovered his history of mental illness, he was honorably discharged with a quickness. He headed to Atlanta and was cutting hair to get money, but it just wasn't enough to stay afloat, so he had to figure out what he was going to do. Natureboy found himself stripping at gay strip clubs, eventually becoming a gay prostitute.
Oh yeah, I made a lot of money doing that.
I was the number one dancer that was hosting the shows all in every gay arena. I was someone that was a straight male that was comfortable enough to allow my body to be utilized by somebody for their pleasures. So I was what you call a prostitute. A male prostitute. Basically, I was gay for pay. What the fuck? I'm attracted to transsexuals because they're more woman than the woman that we have. And
Natureboy had 2 sons with 2 different women in Atlanta, building a relationship with his younger child's mother, Maisha. It's been found that he was so violent with her, after beating her face in, he was arrested with assault and battery of a woman. But he ended up getting off because she said she did it to herself. She forgave him and they ended up getting back together. Go figure. By 2014, his viewpoint began to change, and with the beginning of his spiritual journey is where the name and character Natureboy was finally birthed. This was marked by his RV journey he went on with his child's mother, Maisha, wanting to travel and be closer to nature. He wanted to disassociate from society and just live off the land. He just didn't quite know how to do it yet. But in the midst of their stay in Florida, they ended up having to come back to Atlanta for his shop because it was beginning to crumble. He started giving out free food and haircuts to the people in the community, urged by his newfound black consciousness to take care of the people. But when he started preaching about his new beliefs in his barbershop, people wasn't trying to hear that.
Blah, 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 blah.
By the time it got to 2016, he had hung up his clippers for good. Natureboy started staying up for days, studying videos about the fall of America, watching conspiracy videos, and watching black conscious content creators like Sonetter TV, Polite, and Young Pharaoh, who takes credit for launching Natureboy by letting him come in on his Sonetter interview. Natureboy, being who he is, took over the interview and made it all about himself. That was also the onset of the beef between the two, but it was far from the first time he would gain an enemy. Mid-2016, Natureboy became focused on nature for good, cutting off everything in his diet besides fruit, and studying living in nature off the grid. He sold everything he had, cars, possessions, even giving away his shop, and left for Honduras, inviting all his followers to come with him. The original foundational members were Key, Olmec, and Starlight. At this time, he and his followers were called the Ethereum. This was when he began to broadcast their day-to-day life. They had a lot of people coming to their land that they purchased, and things were very unorganized. At this time, Natureboy was doing everything for these people, making sure they had their necessities, but also buying them cell phones, tablets, even dirt bikes. He had money from the things that he sold, donations from online followers, and money that some of his foundational members brought and put into the community.
How much money did I spend?
300,000, like that.
$300,000 plus more. I'm not going to say the plus number.
In 2017, they were robbed of what they had in Honduras. So the Ethereans set out for Peru, but ended up staying in Costa Rica.
So I quit my job because I found my purpose. My purpose is to leave Babylon, go to Costa Rica, go back to nature, go to the jungle, and live this life and spread this message.
Slapped her up and punched her a couple of times.
Look at my beautiful queen.
In Melanation, he believed that the black woman was God, you know, the archetype, and that when you are of a high frequency, when you're God, there's no need to procreate.
So on this frequency, right, if we're not supposed to be reproducing, because he said we're not supposed to be reproducing, then still, why do you need all these wives? Why? I don't understand.
This is when they became Melanation. It was at this point that a 19-year-old Velvet Marquez, or as she would come to be known as Queen Eliana, dropped out of the agricultural program she was studying in Tuskegee University and came to Melanation to be with the foundational member Olmec.
Is you have to get rid of all your stuff. You have to change your name. Those are non-negotiable. You have to put all of your financial belongings into what we would call a pot, and we would use these resources to feed ourselves, travel, etc.
Two of the members that were in a relationship with each other got broken up by Bishop, and Bishop said that one of them belonged to him, and if you know, you know.
He introduced her to Natureboy, who she said she saw as a father figure. She would later end up leaving Olmec at Natureboy's persuasion and becoming his wife and crowned as queen.
Be with you, you make me so happy. I really see you as the only woman in my life. I want you to have my children.
Olmec is literally having to witness this, like his woman being taken, and he had to be okay with it.
He was told that he was only hurt because he was in his demons and all the rest of that stuff.
The documentary follows her journey as they went from Costa Rica, got deported back to America, and ended up going to Belize.
Guatemala at one point. We stopped at El Salvador. We stopped in Honduras.
And here we are in beautiful Belize. Here we are. We was in South Carolina.
Ohio.
We was in Ohio. We was in Atlanta. We was in Florida. We was in Texas. We was in damn near. We went through the whole damn country and left.
It talks about her feelings of first devotion to this cult, then uncomfortably trying to fulfill Natureboy's request of having her participate in threesomes with some of the other women, and finally the mental and physical abuse she endured while pregnant with his daughter.
Serenity, Sheba, and Eliana would all get pregnant. They would spend most of their time pregnant here.
Things got so bad that after a long period of time of abuse and humiliation and all this broadcasting, that
from saying that I'm your higher self to I'm your master teacher, which is essentially a higher ranking than you are, right, in the group.
Who am I?
The Honorable Master Teacher Natureboy, Commander-in-Chief of the Earth Plane, my higher self.
And he went from master teacher to God.
Things got so bad that after a long period of time of abuse and humiliation and mental and physical degradation, and also trying to deal with a lot of the differences that they had as it related to polygyny, all broadcasted for the world to see, by the way.
When you think you know everything, there's one thing you're gonna learn.
I know that
there's one thing you're gonna learn.
Difference. You don't understand.
I have something to say.
Right. This one thing you're gonna learn. This one thing you're gonna learn.
I know that I am.
Listen.
There's a difference. Quote that.
Okay, listen. Even when you die, you still gonna be learning.
Who is this beautiful woman right here? That's Jasmine?
I am beautiful big sister.
Damn. I can't look at you. I cannot look at you like my wife. No. Oh my God.
He don't look like his wife.
She looks just like you. Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. I'm attracted to you.
What the fuck?
This woman bad as hell.
You shouldn't even be saying that while my sister right next to you.
What's wrong with you, man? You beautiful. What are you talking about? Like, relax.
I'm not saying I'm not beautiful. I don't need you to tell me I'm beautiful. I'm just saying you going a little bit hard about that.
I'm being tested. All right, Reflection. You right. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what, baby? I'm sorry.
Is that Gran?
Yes. Oh, what's up, Grandma?
I ain't no grandma, motherfucker.
When a woman get involved, they always go straight to him, and no woman ever talks to me. It's been like that with every woman.
But do you trust me?
I know I do trust you, but if the woman don't want to get to know me, then how you think?
Any woman have come to me?
I'm not.
How beautiful has the woman been?
Pretty.
No. Tell the people what's behind all of that, though. It's a fear that you're gonna lose me.
I mean, yeah.
She ended up escaping from their Hawaii home with her baby. By then, they switched up from being melanation to carbonation. She became an instant enemy of the tribe. There were so many other members that had wild experiences living in the world that Natureboy created. Too many names to mention.
So one day I was like, fuck. Like, I just feel like do I like men? I went through that to balance myself out.
What the fuck kind of shit is that?
I just remember him like tossing her, and I just remember just seeing her and her pregnant belly fly across the room.
A few of them stood out, like Mama Dia, who was an elderly woman in the cult that was encouraged to stop taking her medications and ended up passing away from a heart attack in her sleep.
You don't need medicine?
You do not allow a doctor to tell you you have a disease. It's a lie. If you're already on medication, start cutting back on the medication.
Pooping and peeing inside. That shit don't even make sense.
Or Kayla, the white woman from Canada who's joining the cult, caused a lot of international attention on all the news channels because her family was looking for her and wanting her to come home. And also True, a member who spent 4 years in the cult and explains the experience as brainwash.
I started seeing through the bullshit.
Some of the members were well known for having spoken out against the cult after they left, making videos and doing interviews. There were many of them who left after being humiliated and exploited, and as some rumors even say, contracting sexual diseases from him.
I know that I'm Jesus. I know that I came here to be Jesus because of my message and what's coming to me and what I'm doing and what I have a desire to do and what I'm trying to do.
These people had experiences they will spend the rest of their lives trying to recover from. It wasn't until an ex-member named Janae, aka Neytiri, who was contacted by an internet detective about the exploitation video that Natureboy put out of her online. This, along with the instance that happened when she was trying to leave carbonation, was enough for the authorities to take Natureboy in and begin an investigation, which ended in a trial.
On March 1st, 2024, self-proclaimed cult leader Eligio Bishop, also known as Natureboy, was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, plus 10 years for rape, unlawful restraint, and 3 counts of revenge porn.
Testimonies from ex-members, including Velvet, and in 2024, a sentence of life prison without the possibility of parole. Nature Boy has had some moments that were publicized and brought attention to him in all the most negative ways.
See me, I like to be naked. My kids, when I see my son, this is how I treat my son. We naked together. My son, I didn't even want him to be in a world where he knew he was naked. I have sex in front of my kids.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no.
But how many more moments that he had that weren't as public?
Being that you know how important and powerful that black woman is, why do you constantly shame her live on the air, constantly beat her down, and you do it on camera, and then you begin to call her a hoe, a bitch, a slut, and then when you get mad enough, brother, you even make them fight each other, brother. Is that what a king in rulership supposed to do, or a god?
Well, actually, no. A god wouldn't make them fight. A god wouldn't call them names. A god would actually kill them. We kill them. We kill them. But I've been more than merciful. And I refuse to take this, what white supremacy has done to my goddess. I know I will curse your ass out until you reach my standards that I know you can be.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
I'll tell you right now. I'm paranoid, I keep it sweet, my pockets deep. That rest on me, while they watching me, I'm pushing pig, I'm pushing pig, pushing pig, I'm pushing pig. Okay, bottle of peak, not a pill of Porsche. Pushing pig, 3 P's, popcorn, Porsche. Pushing pig, I just want a cup of water if I need. Pushing pig, red bandana card. I'ma be at your whole endorsement. She ain't the look for me, she simply Porsche. I never saw ops that we found in touch. She ready to give me streets for me, no question. Try to sword me. I'm pushing P, I'm pushing P, I'm pushing P. Push the 3! I'm pushing P. Push the 3! Pushing P, I'm pushing P, pushing P. Run that shit! Paranoid, I keep it sweet, my pockets deep. That rest on me, while they watching me, I'm pushing P.
So the documentary definitely has some shocking moments and gave a good timeline of the happenings of things, but there was no way on a mainstream streaming platform they could have covered some of the things that truly made impacts on the people who were involved and whose lives were changed forever. A lot of people were key in bringing his ways to light, such as the YouTube page The T, ran by Chantel Coleman, Ashe Divine, Hood Horror, Sa Netter, and Young Pharaoh, who pretty much devoted his life to making sure that Nature Boy was brought down. Nature Boy's mentality is one that you can understand looking at the earlier parts of his life, but that understanding does not give an excuse for it. There is clearly some levels of mental delusion and very, very, very dark trauma that lends to this character, or should I say, the many multiplicity of characters that is all compiled into who Nature Boy is, and all of his many nicknames and titles. Nobody talks about the deeds and levels of participation of some of his followers as well, because some of them still carry that same level of devotion to the sick, twisted man, even after he is now in prison, and even after what he has done to all of their lives. Nature Boy saw all of his followers as only puppets in his own game. Even and especially the women who he passed around like hotcakes and did what he wanted to with. There's so many dimensions to this wicked character. I can only imagine how his followers were consistently trying to understand what was coming next.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see anytime that I post a video, because I want to be in your algorithm. All right, y'all.
I don't need no negativity around me.